Angry guy here, and men will betray women for pleasure and greed. So men will betray women for pleasure and greed. Now, for those of you that don't remember this, there was an episode of Futurama many years ago called Don't Date Robots, or that's at least the skit that was featured in it. And it illustrated the dangers of dating robots. Simps are not loyal, and Sims can actually lead to serious ramifications and the betrayal of women and significant hardships because they are not loyal. And it's not just the Sims, it's just men in general will betray women for robots. Let's just go ahead and jump into the video, and then we'll talk about it more.
Ordinary human dating. It's enjoyable and it serves an important purpose. But when a human dates an artificial mate, there is no purpose, only enjoyment. And that leads to tragedy.
Neato! A Marilyn Monroe bot!
Ooh, you're a real dreamboat.
Billy every teen.
Harmless fun? Let's see what happens next.
Billy, do you want to walk your dog?
No thanks, Mom. I'd rather make out with my Monroe bot.
Billy, do you want to get a paper route and earn some extra cash?
No thanks, Dad. I'd rather make out with my Monroe bot.
Billy, do you want to come over tonight? We could make out together.
Gee, Mavis, your house is across the street. That's an awfully long way to go for making out.
Did you notice what went wrong in that scene? Ordinarily, Billy would work hard to make money with his paper route. Then he'd use the money to buy dinner for Mavis, thus earning a slim chance to perform the reproductive act. But in a world where teens can date robots, why should he bother? Why should anyone bother? Let's take a look at Billy's planet a year later. Where are all the football stars? And where are the biochemists? They're trapped in the soft, vice-like grip of robot lips. All civilization was just an effort to impress the opposite sex. And sometimes the same sex. Now, let's skip forward 80 years into the future. Where's Billy?
Farewell.
The next day, Billy's planet was destroyed by aliens. Have you guessed the name of Billy's planet? It was Earth. Don't date robots!
Brought to you by
The Spaceport.
Now, guys, everyone might think this is a bit comedic. However, it's much more serious than that. This is an actual warning of things that could happen. Women think that this is a game. They think that they can continue to use their marketplace value to control men and society. What they don't understand is that it's a cycle that is coming to an end. When you look at what's happening with AI right now, these AI bots, chat bots, are taking a significant amount of income that was originally going to only fools creators, and now that's being reallocated to these men. And a lot of these firms that are creating these services, that are creating these chatbots, are former agencies that used to employ a lot of women to do these jobs on OnlyFools. But they're tired of working with them. They're tired of having to deal with the attitudes. So they're basically replacing them entirely with AI-generated models. And these things are selling fast. And guys are spending tons of money just to interact with their AI chatbots. This is the absolute future, and women don't realize it. I want you to realize that already billions of dollars are being taken away from modern women and given and it's going directly to these guys, okay, using these chatbots. What does that spell for society? We have robots in development, and not only robots, but the metaverse is going to be very serious. Many of you may be familiar with an anime called Sword Art Online. I absolutely love the series. And basically, you put on a headset and you're playing a game, but it feels like you're actually in there. That's what the metaverse is going to be. We're already controlling video games with our minds using machines that I believe they read your EEG waves, so your brain waves, and you can control video games with your mind now. And that technology is actually here already, and it's going to show up for much sooner than you realize for the mainstream. However, that's not the ultimate goal. The ultimate goal is going to be to slip on a headset, and everything you do on that headset will be controlled using your mind. You'll play videos using that mind. You'll play video games using your mind. But more so, you will interact in this world using your mind, and you will have experiences, intimate experiences with robots, essentially, with artificial intelligence, giving you experiences that you could never have in the real world or with a bio woman, a bio girl. And all of these Sims, you have to remember, they're Sims for a reason. And if you look at the guys that are going over to the Philippines right now and a lot of these other countries, and they're saying things like the Filipina is superior to women in Western society. And I constantly say, no, they're not. Women are women everywhere you go. I always say that foreign women are not superior to women in Western society. They just have a different culture, and that's why they are different in some ways, but they are still women, right? And the irony is that these guys are not loyal. These guys are not good guys. A lot of them are not good guys. Mayumi, she's Japanese. She got into something with one of them in the chat who said that the Filipina is superior to the Japanese woman, although the Japanese woman is still superior to the Western woman. And Mayumi said that she took offense to that. But this should just illustrate to you how the minds of these men work. These are the same guys. When they hear that a Filipina has committed committed an offense against a foreigner where she took money from him, that she wasn't supposed to, or she tried to delete him, they will immediately blame the foreigner. They will defend the Filipina to the end of the earth and say that she is virtuous and she is wonderful and special, and they'll say that all the Filipinos are like that, and there's no way that a Filipino would do this if someone didn't do something to her. Guys, this is ridiculous. They elevate the Filipinas, for example. This is a good example for you, and they do this with other foreign women as well. But they elevate them to this point where they can do no wrong, and they view them as better, and they will use the word superior to other women. There's a lot of guys who don't want to actually even go outside of Western society. They don't want to have to travel. They don't want to have to do any of these things. So what happens when these men slip on a headset? They can just slip on a headset, and they can move around in a virtual world just using their thoughts. And they can experience coitus in a virtual world just using their thoughts. It's going to be absolutely insane, and men are going to prefer it that way. That's how they're going to interact with their girlfriends and their wives. They're going to have virtual girlfriends, virtual wives. And what are these Sims going to do? These Sims are going to start to say that these virtual beings are superior to bio babes. All right? They're going to say that they are superior, they are real people, and that they should be respected. And when they do this, any amount of travesty and injustice will occur in society, because the only thing that can stop a tyrannical government is men standing up to tyranny. Without men, tyranny wins. And women believe that they're going to be the ones that are somehow going to, stand alongside the tyrants. They don't realize that they are just being used. The term useful idiots has been thrown around before. And when the tyrants turn on them and they turn around and say, men, come and rescue us, it's not going to happen. Not only will the men not rescue them, the men will turn around and say that the AI is superior, that the AI babes are superior. This is how the men are. This is how these guys are. A lot of these guys are literal NPCs. They are actual NPCs, and women do not realize they've lost their protectors. And at that point, there will be nothing they can do. The men, they can scream and holler and try to shame. The men won't even be listening. They'll be lost in the metaverse. They will have art. Even if they're not in the metaverse, they may have a physical robot, physical robo babe. Guys, something that a lot of you guys don't take into consideration, a lot of men in the future, the very near future, are going to be called robosexuals. Robosexuality will become a very real thing where there will be men who will only have relationships, intimate relationships with robots. They will swear off relationships with biological beings, and they will only have relationships with robots, and they will identify as that as well. And women, of course, they don't comprehend any of this until it happens. Men are going to be fine. It's not going to be the end of men, but it's going to be a reshuffling for women. Men basically will sit down, relax, chillax, enjoy themselves. Men aren't working right now. So basically, as long as men have video games, entertainment, and oh my gosh, they have a robo babe. They can interact with her. They can get a physical unit, or they can get interact with her through virtual reality, through the metaverse, and get all the benefits. And of course, there's going to be ways so they can get intimate with it, so they can get off using it. Even in the metaverse, they're going to prefer it. It's going to be better for them. And it's basically they can turn her off or turn her on or turn her off whenever they want to. And it's gonna provide them with the greatest relationship possible. It's gonna make them happy, and women won't be able to stop the technology. They will not be able to stop the technology. And a lot of guys they're gonna pour tens of billions and then hundreds of billions of dollars into this thing. You think it's a joke? It's not. When you think about the Handmaid's Tales, that's how the Handmaid's Tales become a reality. When men stop caring about women, when men stop fighting for women, that's when men become indifferent towards women. That's when the Handmaid's Tale will become a reality. And women don't comprehend this. This is why the foreign women are scooping up as many men as they can. They're trying to take all the men because they're trying to make their nation strong. They're trying to make their people strong. This is what they're doing. America is a young country. America is a very young country. So America doesn't understand the ways of the world. Despite the technology that we have today, human nature remains the same. And there are always people trying to control the world. And without strong men, that's how nations fall. That's how nations get taken over by aliens. And the aliens don't have to come from outer space. They come from overseas. Guys, these simps and just men in general will betray women for pleasure and greed. If they can get the same pleasure without all the problems associated with it, doesn't matter if it's a real person or not. In fact, they will prefer that it's not a real person. And they will get the experiences that they want from it. And it'll cost them less and make them happier. And that's it. It's just literally like the clip said. It's just enjoyment. And that's it. And men don't need a lot to survive. Give a guy a Nintendo Switch or a gaming PC. Give a lot of guys a gaming laptop, right? A sleeping bag, and a backpack. And this dude is rocking it. A place to sleep and a place to go to the bathroom. This guy is rocking it. I had some guy message me and said literally, like, he told me the number of like shirts that he had, shorts that he had, pants that he had, shoes that he had. Everything could fit in his backpack. All of his clothing could fit in the backpack. His backpack. He literally said to me that he could be gone in 30 minutes. He can be gone. He's done it many times. He can pick up and take off in 30 minutes flat. Flat. And a lot of dudes are like that. He had his laptop and some other, and that's really it. And he was happy as a happy. This is how a lot of men are going to live now. All right? They're going to have very few possessions. Very few possessions. And whatever they do have, even if they were to lose everything they own, they would laugh their butts off. They'd laugh their butts off. because their laptop is locked and secured, right? So nobody's likely going to get into it. So they can go ahead and try to sell it or whatever. And the thing is that they save so much money that it doesn't mean a lot to them. Yeah, maybe it's a $1,500, $2,000 laptop. They'll just go and buy another one because they save all of their money. So they have ridiculous amounts of disposable income, and they get years of value out of that laptop. The clothing that they have, they've gotten years of value out of those clothes. So even if they lost their backpack and their phone and everything that they owned, they could replace it all in one day. And when I say one day, I'm not even talking about it would take the entire day. Bro, a couple of hours at most. And in the event that the stores are next to one another, bet on it. It would be over. Within like 2-3 hours, they would replace everything they own. And it would not even dent their pockets at all. They would just call it an upgrade. Because a lot of these dudes will keep the same phone for 3 to 5 years. Same laptop for 5-6 years. They'll keep everything for years. So if they were to ever get robbed and they lose everything they owned, they would laugh their butts off so hard. They would say, oh, well, guess it's time to buy some new clothes. Guess it's time to get a new get a new laptop. Guess it's time to get a new phone. Guys, they haven't gotten new stuff in like 5 years. So think about it carefully. They would not even feel it. Men don't need much to survive. And if they have the option to choose something like this, to choose a robot, to choose AI, to date robots, to date AI, you've got to be kidding me. And to date AI, anywhere that you want to access it, you can access it anywhere in the world. Anywhere in the world. You can bring your girlfriend with you anywhere in the world. Access her from anywhere in the world. No problems, no issues. And if there's something you don't like, you can just tweak her right away. Tweak her personality, tweak her looks. Heck, you could even maybe you can even pay to delete her. Yes, delete her and then get another one and another one. You could even have a harem. You can live out your lives. We're moving closer and closer to the Matrix, and men basically living in another Matrix within a Matrix, because this is a Matrix. What do you guys think about this? Do you agree that men will betray women for pleasure and greed? I want to hear your thoughts in the comments, so let's talk about them there. Like the video if you like it. Don't forget to subscribe. And if you like the video, share the video. And just remember that all roads lead to MWA, men walking away, and cheers.